then just bring your hands down by your sides and start to just move the fingers and the toes. Roll the shoulders, making movements in the body. Take a big stretch. Arms overhead, legs down, big stretch. Move around. And then when you're ready, just roll onto your side and come up onto a cross-legged position. I'm going to do a nice cat-cow, which I'm sure you've all seen. So I'll demonstrate from the front and then I'll demonstrate from the side. So from the front, you want to take the hands about maybe a little bit wider than the shoulders, spread the fingers, and then just bring the hands down, roll the shoulders, take the knees underneath the sit bones, and then from here take a breath. Inhale, lengthen up the spine and get a nice neutral feeling in the spine right up the neck. As you exhale, you're going to tuck the tailbone and then start scooping the belly in from the bottom all the way up, and then the head is coming down and the chest, the back of the chest is coming up towards the ceiling. On the inhale, we start from the base of the spine again and just start uncurling up like a flower. So from the side, I will demonstrate. From here, the inhale in position, and then we tuck the tailbone and we start really pulling, scooping all the way up into an arch, and then the inhale starting from the base, we uncurl all the way up. And you might find that you want to move your hands closer to your knees or further away from your knees as you start moving. So just check out what's the right position for you. Okay? So we'll just do a few of these. Moving in time with your own natural breath. Good. Really feel the stretch in the back of the spine as you exhale and scoop the belly in, and then as you uncurl up the other way, feeling a stretch up the front of the body. And just check in with a sense of groundedness in the hands and in the legs. Just make sure that you've got that weight nice and even on the hands and the legs, and you're pushing down into the 4 points. 2 hands and 2 legs. Try not to move back and forward too much. And then just sink back down onto your knees momentarily. You're going to take your right, so I'm mirroring you, take your right leg forward into a lunge. I think I need to change this angle, possibly. Let me just make sure you can see. So taking your right leg forward and then resting on the back knee and the top of the foot. So that's going to look like this from the side. So I'm on the top of the foot and the knee. And if the knee is coming way past the foot, then you need to take the foot either further forward or the back leg further back. Then we need to come forward so that we've got a stretch in the front of the back leg. Sink forward until you feel that edge. And just stay here. Just enjoying that stretch in the back hip flexor. And push a little bit of weight into that right foot and feel the lightness in the back leg and the hips and the pelvis. Maybe allowing you just to sink a little bit deeper into that stretch. And then take your right hand onto the right knee, left hand onto the back of the left hip, and come up and sink down. Feel that more intense, that stretch in the hip flexor. And then take the left arm away and sweep it forward and up. Come up onto the knee, take the other hand up and then sink back down into that stretch. So everything in this is optional except breathing. If your body is saying, I don't like this, then you mustn't do it. You must listen to your body. Inhale, and then take the arms down. And then push into the right leg and come back so that the heel is down and the toes are up from the side. Foot is flexed. Now we're going to feel a nice stretch up the back of the front leg. And then sink the torso down. Doesn't matter how far down you can go, just allow gravity to take you to the edge of your comfort zone. Dropping the head down towards the knee. Take your chin to the chest and feel the stretch right down the back of the torso and right down the back of the leg. Then lift the head and then just come back to a kneeling position. Just release the legs. Have a little shake out. Just maybe check in with your wrists, anything else. Take a couple of breaths and then whenever you're ready, in your own time, we're going to swap legs. So we're going to take the left leg forward and come into the lunge again. And push a little bit of weight into that left leg and feel the lightness in the back leg and the hips and feel that nice stretch in the hip flexor. And then take the left hand onto the left knee, right hand behind the right hip if you can, and just push yourself up. So we're using this hand to push that right hip forward a little bit just to get a slightly more intense stretch. But don't go outside of your comfort zone. We're just kind of at the edge of the comfort zone. And well done folding up a blanket or something underneath your knee if you're feeling you need padding under your knee. That's good. And then from here, just come up a little bit and take the right arm up, left arm up to join in, and then sink back down into that lunge, pushing into the front leg. Inhale. Exhale the arms down. And then push into that front leg again. Heel down, toes pointing up to the ceiling. Just stay here and feel a nice stretch up the back of the front leg. Dropping the head down to the knee. Take the chin to the chest. Feel a stretch right down the back of the spine. And down the back of the leg. then lift the head. Bring the legs back and just stretch out. Just shake out, do what you need to do. And let's come down to child's pose. Just take the knees a little bit wide. Sink down into the heels first. And then take the head down. So if you're on your elbows or your fists, that's fine. Just sink down. And just connect with the body and the breath. And then bring your hands down in front of the knees and slowly lift up. And we're going to take a slightly more intense back bend. Actually, I'm going to take this off. Just make sure you can see properly. So probably better to show you this from the side. So it's quite an intense back bend if you go into the full pose. But a modification would be resting on the elbows. So my elbows are like this and I'm resting on them. And then it's really about gauging how far away your knees are going to be. But we're trying to take the chest down to the floor. This is Anahatasana. So taking the chest down to the floor and maybe resting either on the side of the face or on the forehead. And really taking weight on the arms. So it could look much less intense, like this. Or even if it's not working, more like a Sphinx pose with the elbows underneath the shoulders and just lifting up through the chest. So just go easy, especially on the neck. Right, the full pose would be coming right down and resting with the chin up, but that's not advisable unless you are very comfortable in that position. Just make sure that your chest is pushing down towards the floor and you're feeling that arch in the back, like a stronger back bend. So Anahatasana, Anahata chakra is the heart chakra. So this is almost like surrendering the heart to the earth. Just breathe here. If it's uncomfortable and you need to come out, please come out of any pose, anytime. Just pay attention to your body. What does your body need? Good. Does it need to change the pose? Does it need to come out? Or is it happy to stay here, breathing along? And then just coming out of this, make sure your hands are supporting you. Bring the hands down by the knees and then just slowly come up. Sink back and take a stretch. Arms out in child's pose. Drop the head down. Really stretching the spine. Push the hands away from you and stretch the spine. And then just lift the head, bring the hands down, come back up to kneeling. And just do whatever you feel you need to do, any part of the body that needs a bit of a move or a shake. I don't like this light. and change the light. That's better, I think. So I'm going to do down dog, and I'm going to do it in a way that might be a little bit different if you have done yoga before anywhere. You definitely have seen down dog. But normally we take the arms kind of wide and we take the feet about kind of hip width apart. But I want to just change it a little bit. So I want you just to come into all fours and maybe just take the knees a few inches back from right angles and take the thumbs facing so they're either touching or maybe just 1 or 2 inches max away from each other. And then just want you to turn your feet and take them a little bit wider. So turn your feet to the edge of the mat, curl onto the toes and come up. So step the feet in a bit. So all in all, what we have is a down dog where the arms are further together, the feet are wider apart to the edge of the mat, and the feet are, you know, maybe this would be a down dog, but we're just bringing it a little bit closer. So the feet are a little bit closer to the hands. And roll the shoulders and just stretch up the body, stretch up the legs, pushing down into the hands and the feet. The reason I like this is when I do this, I feel quite introspective. So I feel like I'm just tuning in to my own self, to my own mind, not overthinking anything. So Hillary, do you want to step your feet a little bit further towards your hands? Yeah. Doesn't matter if you've not got your heels down, anything like that's fine. What this does is it means we can stay here a bit longer because it's not as strenuous on the arms. That said, you need to come down whenever you need to come down. If you're comfortable, stay and just see what comes up. Try and have a neutral neck so the ears are between the arms, almost just nestling in between the forearm or the upper arms. And just check your hands are quite close in towards each other. Good, come down when you need to. And just keep a neutral neck. So having this position just for me, it means I can stay longer and really get insular and introspective. Rolling the shoulders open, keeping the attention at the back of the top of the back of the shoulders. And we're going to go straight into the next pose from here. So with the feet at the edge of the mat, we're going to walk the hands back. I'm going to come into a monkey pose. So if you need to take your feet much wider, you can take them much wider. Okay? What we want to experience here is the weight is on all points of the feet evenly. So we've got weight on the heels and weight on the balls of the feet. And then we stretch the arms out just a little bit wider than shoulder width. Drop the head so it's a neutral neck and stretch out and then place the hands down. Try and keep the arms and legs straight. Roll the shoulders open and push down into the hands. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, drop the chest. Let the jaw and the neck relax. Keep moving with the breath. Pushing down strongly into the hands and the feet. And then inhale, lift up. And down. So change your position so that you've got your hands and your feet nice and flat. If you need to put blocks or anything under your hands, or if you need to take your legs a bit wider. Just do a few breaths here, lifting up. And then hold the position, lifting up, roll the shoulders so the armpits are rolling towards each other. If you need to drop the head but just keep the chest up, that's fine. Keep pushing down into the hands and the feet. And then soften the knees, push yourself back, and then slowly start to roll up, taking the hands up the front of the legs, uncurling slowly, one vertebrae at a time, slowly coming up, head and shoulders comes up last, and then just shake out, do whatever you need to do. And we're standing Tadasana, spreading the toes. Try and make the feet as big and long and wide as you can. And then check the weight distribution. So if you're leaning forward, you're putting strain on the back of the body. If you're leaning back on the heels, you're putting strain on the front of the body. Try and just rock back and forward till you get that equilibrium point. And then check if you've got more weight underneath the big toe or more weight underneath the little toe. Just see if you can move around, trying to get all that weight nicely distributed across all points of the feet. And soften the knees, push down into the feet, engage the abdominals, slide the tailbone down towards the mat and roll the shoulders. And then draw the shoulders gently back towards each other, opening up across the front of the chest. And check your ears are lined above the shoulders. So if you're holding your head forward, you're putting immense strain on the back of the neck, so you want to lift that up and back. And plonk it back down right in the centre of the shoulders. I'm going to change the angle of this camera, I think my head's about to disappear. It's not any better. So we're going to do a little side bend. So the wider your feet are, the easier it is. And if you had your feet right in towards each other, it would be quite intense. So just maybe go halfway, and you can always change it if you need to. I'm just going to take the hands behind the back. So just reverse folding the arms. And this hopefully will encourage you to keep the chest facing the front when we do our side bend. Keep the knees soft, and then just take one arm up and bend over to the side. Don't let it turn into a twist. Keep it in that one plane of movement. Push down into the feet. Come back up. Inhale up. Exhale. Hands behind. Inhale. Other arm up. And exhale over to the other side. As you come over to your left side, make sure that you've got weight on both feet. You're not losing the connection with the opposite side. If you want to stay here, that's fine. If you want to intensify, you can take both arms up and you can hold the position. Still not quite right. You can hold the position, and that makes it more intense. So you could be here, you could take a hold of your wrist and come over. Or you could just take the hands like this and come over. So play about with the intensity, and if you want, you can just come down and up a few times, or you can hold it here and really pull right up this arm. Feel the stretch coming right down the side. So this would be the most intense, and if you had your feet together, that would be even more intense. Really intense stretch right up the side. And then soft knees, just hang forward. Just release. Just flexing the spine, both directions. A little sugar. We're all Scottish here, aren't we? Sometimes I say this in class, sugar, and then I have to give a translation. So, anyway, come back up when you're ready, and we'll go over to the other side. So remember, this is easier, this is harder. Either dynamically, just making sure that as you come to the left side, there's weight on your right foot, or taking a hold of the wrist and really stretch up. Even feel that in your armpit, stretching right up the side. Try not to lock out the knees. You want these thighs to be switched on and active, and that doesn't happen when you lock out the knees. And bend the knees and release. Hang forward. Swing from side to side. And as you swing from side to side, slowly uncurl the spine all the way up. Feeling that stretch moving further up the back. And just release your jaw. Let your mouth just open slightly. And as you come up higher, and the head's moving, make sure you can feel the jaw moving. I'm just aware that we hold tension in the jaw. And this is a good way of just feeling what it's like to let that go and just relax. So standing in Tadasana, let's take a few breaths here again, checking in with your posture and your alignment. Pushing down into the feet, roll the shoulders, just stay here. Connecting with the body, connecting with the breath. Stay here for a few more breaths. Okay. And then just relax your position, have a little shake out, maybe massage the feet into the mat. So you might want to do this one side on. So if you're standing on your mat like this, you might want to stand side on. So we're going to do goddess pose, and I can't tell you how far apart your feet have to be, and I can't tell you what angle your feet have to be open to, okay? It's all about your bone structure and your flexibility. So if you take your feet this far apart and then you bend your knees and they're bending way over the feet, then you need to take them a little bit wider, yeah? Likewise, if you bend the knees and they're sort of bending in sideways, then you need to turn the feet further in. So you want the knees tracking over the feet. And all we're going to do here is just make sure we've got that weight even on all points of the feet. Try and keep a nice neutral spine, nice and straight. And we're just going to start coming up and down, and we're going to feel the burn in the legs. So we're working the root chakra by working the legs. Just getting nice and grounded, prepared for the meditation. Up and down. And then if you want, you can intensify this by holding the position here. We're going to bring the arms into it. So here's the arms, yeah? Now when we're working, if you start to feel the burn and you're like, no way, just keep going with the arms and straighten the legs, lock them out, and that'll switch off the thighs instantly. Then you can come back into it, okay? So we're just going to inhale in position here. Now we're going to exhale and take the arms in so that the forearms touch. And inhale. And as you inhale, feel the attention moving to the front of the chest. Expanding the heart. And I'm going to take the arms out to the sides, inhale. I'm going to keep the arms out to the side and exhale. Now when we inhale, the arms are coming in on the inhale. And the exhale, the arms are coming out to the side. And as you inhale, feel the attention move to the back of the chest. And feel the expansion across the back of the heart. So the back of the heart chakra. The back of the body is where we receive, so all the nerves that are going in through the back of the spinal, from the back of the spine, are sending messages to the brain. And the front is the active part, so it's what you receive, the moon principle, versus what you give out, which is the solar principle. Well done. And then just bring the arms back down, lock out the legs. Well done. Just move the hips. Do what you need to do. Shake around. Done. And then we'll just stretch the insides of the legs a bit. So take the feet wide and we come down to the centre, and we're just going to keep the hips facing the front, bending alternate legs. So we bend as we walk the hands over to one side. Inhale as you come back to the centre. Exhale over to the other side. Feel that stretch in the inside of the leg. Just keep moving. Side to side. If you feel that you bend the knee and the heel is lifting up, because you've run out of space for the amount of stretch you have, then you need to take the legs further out from each other. Just keep moving side to side. With the breath, inhale centre, exhale side, inhale centre, exhale other side. Good. Keep pushing down into the feet, especially the straight leg. You need to protect the knee by switching on the muscles in the leg. Good work, guys. You can do a couple more or stop if you want to. Remember, it's all optional except breathing. That's my mantra. And then just come back up to the centre, roll the shoulders, move the neck, release the jaw, soften the knees and walk the hands up the front of the legs, slowly curling all the way up. Eventually, neck, shoulders, head comes up last. Good, just taking your time to get up. So we're going to do a little stretch in the back of the legs. And the back of the legs relates to the bladder meridian, and the moon kind of also has a correlation with the bladder, the stomach, anything that is a ball that contains liquid. So I want you to cross your legs, one over the other. So I want you to pay close attention to what I'm doing here. I'm not trying to get my feet lined up, because if I do that, I'm hyperextending my back leg, my back knee, and it's really not going to be comfortable. What I need to do is make sure that I can have a micro bend in that knee, then just take the foot across. So it's got, my foot's about 3 inches in front of the other one. I don't know if you can see that from the angle of the camera. You can probably see it from the front actually. So we want to make sure that we don't have to force this back knee to go into hyperextension. Now we're just going to come down. We're going to get quite a nice intense stretch in the legs. If you can't get down all that far, and even if you've got like blocks or books or something, you're still nowhere near the floor, you can use the wall as a support and just come down. And first of all, we're going to take a few breaths with the weight on the back foot. Now make sure you don't lock out that back leg. Push down into the leg and just drape down as far as you can, feeling that stretch up the back of that leg. Relax the jaw, relax the head, relax the neck. Pushing down actively into that back foot. Just resting on the front foot for stability. Feel the torso draping down the thighs towards the floor. Then shift the weight onto the front leg and just relax that back leg. And this is where it gets quite intense in that back leg. You might feel it much more intense when you have your weight on the front foot. Keeping the legs straight but not locked. You have to have your legs straight to be experiencing the stretch in the fascia. This is going to release the blockages and just balance out the energy. So once you've had a few breaths on the front leg, then just bring back the weight evenly into both feet and try and just ground down quite strongly into the legs and just feel the body drape down. Feel that lovely stretch. You feel that you're at the edge, you feel that kick. That stretch up the back of both legs, and then just release. Well done. Slowly come up. Unravel the legs. Take your time coming up, have a stretch. Shake out. And take a couple of breaths. Psyching ourselves up for the next side. And then when you're ready, again crossing that leg over, making sure you've got space. Space to move the back leg, yeah. And then come down using the wall if you need to. Keep the legs straight but not locked. Weight on the back foot first. Really push down as if you're trying to squash bubble wrap underneath the back foot. And when you do that, see if you can tune into that lightness in the upper body and feel the torso vertically just dropping down towards the mat. And then just shift the weight gently onto the front leg, push down. Feel that intense stretch in the back leg. Try and relax the jaw, relax the head down. Just let everything flop down, draping down towards the mat. Then bring the weight evenly into both sides. Try and just relax the jaw, relax the head down. Make sure you're not holding your head up so that you can see what's happening. This is all part of that lunar energy. We're fine. We're going to be okay. Just letting go. And then gently come back up. Slowly unravel the legs. Take a couple of breaths to get up if you need to. And just shake out. Massage your feet into the mat. Do what you need to do. Let's just come into Tadasana and check in with the body. Roll the shoulders. Soft knees. Pushing down into the feet. Drawing the shoulders back towards each other. Feel the chest opening across the front. Connecting with the physical body and the sensations, and then connecting with the breath. Can you notice anything in the breath that is different, that has changed? Maybe connecting back to your intention that you set at the beginning. And then see if you can connect to your subtle body, the energy body. It's made up of channels and chakras or wheels. And we are just energy manifesting in different vibrations. You feel that energy. Maybe a tingling in the hands or the face, or a pulsation. Just a general buzzing sensation somewhere. Inhale, lengthen through the spine and out through the crown of the head. Exhale the shoulders back and down. And slowly open the eyes. And just shake out. So I thought I'd do a nice gentle balance pose, and it's called, I think it's called a sun, so you've probably heard of a sun salute, and you might have heard of a moon salute, and this is a cloud salute, I think it's called. I don't know what you're standing on, but if you're on, you need to be on a reasonably hard surface for this. So I like one thin mat on a wooden floor. When you do balance, if you're not on a hard enough surface, then you can, it's like trying to balance on a trampoline. I've never tried it, but you can imagine. So what we're going to do is, we're going to start doing this with the eyes open, and we just take prayer position, but not locked. You have to have your legs straight to be experiencing the stretch in the fascia. Just going to release the blockages and just balance out the energy. So once you've had a few breaths on the front leg, then just bring back the weight evenly into both feet and try and just ground down quite strongly into the legs and just feel the body drape down. Feel that lovely stretch. You feel that you're at the edge, you feel that kick. That stretch up the back of both legs, and then just release. Well done. Slowly come up, unravel the legs. Take your time coming up, have a stretch. Shake out. And take a couple of breaths, psyching ourselves up for the next side. And then when you're ready, again crossing that leg over, making sure you've got space. Space to move the back leg, yeah. And then come down using the wall if you need to. Keep the legs straight but not locked. Weight on the back foot first. Really push down as if you're trying to squash bubble wrap underneath the back foot. And when you do that, see if you can tune into that lightness in the upper body and feel the torso vertically just dropping down towards the mat. And then just shift the weight gently onto the front leg, push down. Feel that intense stretch in the back leg. Try and relax the jaw, relax the head down, just let everything flop down, draping down towards the mat. Then bring the weight evenly into both sides. Try and just relax the jaw, Relax the head down, make sure you're not holding your head up so that you can see what's happening. This is all part of that lunar energy. We're fine. We're going to be okay. Just letting go. And then gently come back up. Slowly unravel the legs. Take a couple of breaths to get up if you need to. And just shake out. Massage your feet into the mat. Do what you need to do. Let's just come into Tadasana and check in with the body. Roll the shoulders. Soft knees. Pushing down into the feet. Drawing the shoulders back towards each other. Feel the chest opening across the front. Connecting with the physical body and the sensations, and then connecting with the breath. Can you notice anything in the breath that is different, that's changed? Maybe connecting back to your intention that you set at the beginning. And then see if you can connect to your subtle body, the energy body. It's made up of channels and chakras or wheels. And we are just energy manifesting in different vibrations. You feel that energy. Maybe a tingling in the hands or the face, or a pulsation. Just a general buzzing sensation somewhere. Inhale, lengthen through the spine and out through the crown of the head. Exhale, the shoulders back and down. And slowly open the eyes. And just shake out. So I thought we'll do a nice gentle balance pose, and it's called, I think it's called a sun, so you've probably heard of a sun salute, and you might have heard of a moon salute, and this is a cloud salute, I think it's called. And I don't know what you're standing on, but if you're on, you need to be on a reasonably hard surface for this. So I like one thin mat on a wooden floor. When you do balance, if you're not on a hard enough surface, then you can, it's like trying to balance on a trampoline. I've never tried it, but you can imagine. So what we're going to do is, we're going to start doing this with the eyes open. On the inhale, we take the arms up this way. And on the exhale, we come down into a prayer position and lift one knee up to meet the hand. So we're contracting the front of the body on the exhale. On the inhale, drop that knee. Take the arms up. And on the next exhale, we take the opposite knee. And the hands come down. Inhale up with the arms. Trying to synchronize these movements with your own breath. And the next stage of this, to depending on how stable you feel, would be to do it with the eyes partially closed. You would eventually do it with the eyes completely closed, but I would suggest trying it with maybe halfway closed first. It gets harder the more your eyes are closed, the harder it gets. Let's do 2 more on each side. If you want to push the boundaries, don't topple over, just do what you can. And when you've done, just shake out.